We Got This Africa, proudly brought to you by Frytol. Frytol, you deserve to be well.
Girl, listen.
Sometimes when I think about the fact that I'm in my 30s, I worry that life is passing me by while I'm busily trying to figure out how to be an adult. I'm not traveling as much as I would like to. I spend more time making cocoa and stuff than I spend on my skincare routine. And staying in shape in your 30s can be so hard. Don't get me started on money, responsibilities, and all of the pressure that comes with being in your 20s. But then again, I'm thankful. I'm actually happy that I'm out of the 20s bracket at this time. I can only imagine the pressure that comes with being 20-something in 2020 and 2021, 2022, and so on, when social media pressure is at its highest. Finding love at a time like this can be really hard when most people are perceived to be fake and pretentious and posing and so on. Today on We Got This Africa, I'm going to be talking to two 20-something-year-olds, and we're going to be talking about adulting during these times. My name is Naa Ashorkor. You're welcome.
We got this.
You're watching We Got This Africa. Today we're talking adulting, and I have Miss Drew and Dorothy on the show.
Hey.
Girls, how you doing?
I'm good.
How is life? Like, how you guys doing?
Hey,
Really?
do you want the short version, the fake version, or the in between?
I want the real
packaging
version. No, not the packaging one, like the real raw one.
Okay.
How you doing?
One day at a time. Literally, I think that's the easiest way to put it. One day at a time. Right now, I would say I'm good, but maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and be like, oh my God, like, what's happening? Or I'll wake up and be like, okay, girl, you feeling yourself? I'm feeling amazing.
Like today?
Like today. Oh,
Because you look amazing.
Girl, I'm slaying. Okay, I'm feeling myself. But then, I mean, it's always ups and downs. There's never a straight like. I'm good. No, but to be fair, I'm more of a positive person, so I don't really like to dwell on negative stuff. So usually I am good, but we do have days where just like I just want to be under my duvet and I want to close the curtains and I don't want anybody to call my name because I'm too busy and I just want a holiday. I just want a holiday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't we all? How about you? How you doing?
A little bit okay.
Okay.
With work. I think for love, I don't want to go there. I mean, no.
Sis.
Sometimes I feel I might never get married.
No.
Yes, because nowadays everybody is like, your matter too hard. Why? The way you're continuing,
Is
you're
that the
always
men?
about your job.
Yes.
Even my friends, sometimes you be at work and the ones that are married, they'll go like, Inti, when are you getting married?
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay.
Girl.
And so sometimes you sit down and I wonder, and some people are, oh, I'm celebrating my second year anniversary. And I'm like, I don't even have a boyfriend. How am I going to start
When's the last time you
it?
had a boyfriend?
Last 2 years ago.
Ooh, so you've been single 2 years.
Yes. 2
Okay.
years.
Is it hard to find love during
Yes,
these
it
times?
is hard. It is
I
hard. I
think
mean,
it is.
the one I was with, everything was okay, but he would just abuse you verbally, and he thinks it's normal, it's okay
No.
for you to. I mean, oh, drive the thing, oh, stupid, oh, that,
No.
oh, that, and you know, with time, to me, I started compromising on that. Oh, that's how it is. So let me just
No,
find a
sis.
way to just deal with it.
No.
So
No.
yeah, from the outside, everything was so cool, but from the
Instagram
inside,
relationships,
yes,
couple goals.
no. I mean, I don't do Instagram, but I mean, couple people, when you're going everywhere, where's your
Yeah.
boyfriend? Like, when you're going, everybody will ask you, where's your boyfriend? And I'm like, I
no.
don't live with him.
You
So
know?
what? Yeah. So with that, and 2 years down the line, everybody like, you're pretty, you're beautiful. How come you don't have a man? Dorothy, why?
We get that all
So
the
it's hard.
time.
So for work, I'm really, really focused on work. I work 2 jobs.
Yes,
Yes.
I like
So
that.
I have my corporate, then I have the radio. So
Nice.
back to back. And within that, you have people coming in asking you, so when can we get away? Where can you go? And I'm like, I have my work. I was like, really? Like, all of a sudden, they're like, hey, so you have time.
busy.
Yeah?
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know, that's something I remember about my 20s too. When I was in my 20s, and sometimes it's something I feel that I probably should have relaxed on a bit because I was always working.
Yeah.
From 20 all the way to 29-ish or 28-ish, I was always working. I was always working at least 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So I remember in my 20s, I just entered Chatterhouse. And I was on Miss Malika, I was on Guess Who's Coming for Dinner, and then I was also doing production, you know, in the back. And I was doing stage plays, I was doing films. So it was around the same time we did Perfect Picture, Adam Samples, and so on. I was doing film, and then I was still in school.
Wow.
And then I had my family. So I was always busy. And if you ask me now if I would have done it different, sometimes I feel like I would have.
Yeah, taking time.
Sometimes.
What exactly?
I think I probably would have traveled more.
Oh,
okay.
that's
You know.
one thing I love doing.
So we have
Traveling
left the
is my
jobs and gone.
No. And that's the tough part about being, because you feel like when you're in your 20s, like that's how I felt. This is the time to figure life out and the things
it
I
is.
want. Do you feel that way?
But then who gives us that pressure actually? Because I feel like that, like, oh my goodness, by 25, I'm supposed to find my man. By 26.
Have you found your man?
No, sis.
Okay.
26, we're supposed to be together for like a year, then we get engaged, then we get married at 28, then we spend, you know, a year traveling the world. Then we, you know, then we start having children. I'll have my first child, the second one by 30, and then, you know, life is golden. But, you know, 28 is coming, I'm thinking, girl.
How old are you now?
28.
Okay.
There's no bait inside. And do you know what I think my issue is?
What's your issue?
I feel like a lot of guys are intimidated by me.
Because of your fancy accent.
Not my accent, oh my goodness. Not my accent, but like Dorothy, always working. I mean, I like nice things, and so I have to work hard for them.
Okay.
So I'm always working. You know, you see Drew on holidays because I like traveling, eating good food, but there's nobody sponsoring it. It's actually me. So I'm working all these different jobs. I actually started my first job when I was 15.
Wow.
So I've been working non-stop, and that's why I'm just like, I need a break. Like, I need a break. But it's who is it that gave us this perception, or me, the perception that 25, be married, be in the house, all that stuff. Where did it come from? You have friends that are around, you know. To be fair, lots of my younger cousins at 25, they got married. Then you've got friends, you know, they have babies, and you're just like, oh,
does it make you feel like I'm growing old and I'm missing out?
I definitely feel like I'm getting old. And sometimes it's just like, I'm so happy for you, but God, when is it going to be me? Or like, oh, do you know, I'm so happy, but maybe let me just finish sorting all my life out, and then I'll be ready to just relax and focus 100% on kids and family.
And finding bae.
They're supposed to find me.
So do you find that you have friends who feel like you, like, or do you find that all your friends are getting all your friends have it figured out?
Okay, for me, it looks like everyone. It looks like, I don't know about, but they make it look like everything. They have everything figured out. And
Perceptions.
the least thing is every time, oh, Dory, I was talking to this guy. I think he'll be right for you.
They're trying to hook
As
you
soon
up.
as
like
they
you're
get
always-
into relationships, then it's like, oh my God, I'm going to put you on a blind date.
Yes.
Oh, there's this guy, maybe you can see how it is.
Oh, we go on blind dates in Ghana.
Oh, well, yeah.
Really?
There's blind dates.
Blind dates in this town.
Blind dates. So
Yes.
it's literally like, all right, come and meet me at this place. And then
Yes.
they've brought a person.
Yes.
Maybe the person your friend ends up being late.
And then it's just the
Are you
two
waiting
of
for
you.
this
Yes.
person? Then it's just the two of you.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
does it work out?
Sometimes it's weird, especially when maybe you have a preference and maybe the person.
Do you have a
doesn't really-
checklist?
Now I've thrown it away.
So there's this Ghanaian joke about the fact that
Yes.
when women are around 22,
Yeah.
they want a certain kind of man. I don't want to describe this kind of man, but often, wait, let me just say,
Okay.
often it's a very tall man.
Yes,
I don't know.
with a beard or dark skin.
I would like tall
yeah,
men.
tall.
Okay.
It needs to be fair.
Dark. Oh, right.
I like
Ooh,
fair.
fair.
Yeah.
Beard gang.
Yeah.
Caramel.
Yeah, beard gang.
Okay.
And if he's mixed, the better. I want mixed babies. So I can bring their
Hey,
hair
that's what my
and,
grandma
you know,
said.
play with it. But for now, the dark guys are allowed.
Dark men are very handsome.
Yeah.
I'm like, they are too known. I don't know why.
Oh,
Especially the ones that are nice. They know they are nice.
Oh, the ones that know that they're nice,
Nice,
trust
yeah,
me.
very
And
true,
the
no.
ones that are tall, because I'm not gonna lie, there aren't that many tall guys in Ghana.
In Ghana,
They're
because
not
Ghanaian men are short.
quite
It's
a
that
lot of
fancy
them.
people. They are average.
Average height.
Average height.
So who are the tall men?
At the top, notness. Very, very, very tall. But
Okay,
they
so you want a tall, light-skinned, mixed race man with perfect teeth
yes.
and hair that you can
You
play
know,
with.
play with and give me kids that,
Okay.
you know.
How about money?
Money, yeah, I'm doing well. If he's a billionaire, I'll take it. But I won't play my
You
cards
take-
well.
you just
I'll take
handed a
it. I'll
billionaire.
take it. But he has to be focused. I like
Okay.
people that are very smart.
Yeah.
Like play with me.
Okay. Mentally.
Yes.
So that list is gone.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
have a
gone.
list at all now?
Oh yeah, I have.
What's the list?
Would you be employed? Be doing something. Be employed. Have a job. Have a stable. And not be living in your mother's house. At least.
Okay.
Or you have intentions of moving out. At
Okay.
least. And
Whoa.
not,
So not
be-
a gaman.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't really mind.
When you said living in your mother's house, it just kind of reminded me of,
Oh, God.
every
Yeah.
gaman I know.
Oh,
If
God.
you are there and
I
you,
beg, my people don't come for me. Na joko.
if you are there and you have intentions of leaving,
leaving,
that is
there is
fine.
intention that
But
matters.
if you are more like the mummy's,
mommy's boys are no good.
Oh no,
Mommy's
no,
boys
no.
are
Not the
Because
person whose mom still packs him lunch.
oh no,
Ah.
no, not that. Then you do
Or makes his bed.
you take your time preparing me. You'll be like, it doesn't taste like my mother's. Go back to your mother. Go back.
Even though it took you that long to find him, you'll send him back.
Do you have a list?
I don't have a list as in looks anymore. I just
But you used to have
Really?
a
I used to have not even really. I mean, I'm more of a personality person than looks.
Okay.
So it's weird. All my exes, if you're watching, I don't think they're all that pretty. But yeah. But
But a man
personalities-
must be ugly and fearful.
no.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A man must be ugly and fearful.
Yeah.
Eesh.
Yeah.
So that's a new one.
Oh, you didn't know?
You didn't know.
I didn't know. For me, I just think he needs to be God-fearing, and he just needs to understand my job, because I'm not gonna stop working. You know, I'm in the entertainment
Yeah.
scene, media, all of that kind of stuff. I just need someone that understands my hustle, is able to support me, and you know, if your personality is lit, then.
Hallelujah.
But to be fair, I don't even think I can have anyone that's as loud as me, because no one will come to our house for dinner. Imagine we're just.
Well, it gets complicated. So I was telling you this Ghanaian joke. You guys might have heard this, but it's said that when women are in their early 20s, they have this list: tall man,
Yeah.
good job,
Good
God-fearing, stable, good heart, sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sense of humor, loves kids, will go to the salon with me and so on.
Yeah.
By the time we are 27, we just want, still tall though.
Yeah.
27, still
Still
tall. Tall man, God-fearing, has money, his own house and a couch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then by the time we're 30, we're like, God-fearing.
That's it.
Then by the time we're, 35-ish going, just want a man.
Oh,
Just
Like
anyone.
God,
Yeah,
I just
anyone.
want a man. In
Anyone.
my GSS, I had a teacher who always said this, that a man must be ugly and fearful and impossible smelling. So like,
Oh.
it was a joke. So you don't want a man that's all like
Yeah.
selfie, a man that's
no,
taking
no,
selfies all the time and looking better than you, and smells better than you, because some men really like to take care of themselves.
Yes.
They're well groomed, looking good,
Those ones.
Yes.
so white, everything neat.
Everything on point.
She doesn't like that kind of man.
No.
And so she planted that in my head as a child, since I was like in GSS. It's something I had heard so many times. And so maybe it was at the back of my head a little bit.
Oh.
So I never really thought about a pretty boy or,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But then thank God for my Sunday school. The Church of Pentecost.
Yeah.
That, when you're thinking of a life partner, you need to think of someone who loves God.
That's it.
And they will love you,
That's
when they
it.
love God. They just, will love you too. Anyway, we're talking about adulting in 2020, the pressures that come with it and so on We Got This Africa. Stay tuned.
We got this.
Choosing the right oil makes all the difference. That is why I always choose Frytol. At Wilma, where Frytol is made, each and every worker wakes up with you in mind.
Really?
And for the millions of other homes too. There, the experts ensure every bottle of Frytol is rich with great taste that creates memories to last their lifetime. Frytol is a cholesterol-free oil fortified with vitamin A.
Now I know why you cook with Frytol.
Yes, Dad.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol. Frytol. Love your food, love your life. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
being in your 20s in 2020 can be tough. Adulting 101 is what we're talking about today on We Got This Africa. Miss Drew and Dorothy, you guys, Charlie, you're taking me back to, them days. And one thing I really remember is family pressure. Like, while my family were absolutely chill, sometimes I felt like they might be looking at me sideways and thinking, okay, what's going on with you? Like, especially when it comes to career and life choices. Do you find that you have that pressure from family?
At the beginning, when I was starting, definitely. When I came to Ghana, my mum was not in favor. She was like, what are you coming to do? Like, what do you mean presenting? Like, what is this thing? Why don't you just be a pharmacist? I'm like, hey, madam, please. Okay. Then when I got to Ghana, I'm like, my grandmas were like, we don't understand, what is this that you're doing? You should just find an office job and get married. I'm like, hey, she even told me, don't come back to Ghana again if you're not coming back with a man. I was like, oh, really? Like, why? Now, I think because they can see, there's progress and that I'm doing well, I'm very confident. They're like, okay, we're just going to leave you. We're just going to watch and see what you're doing. But once in a while, you get so when is the wedding coming? Or my grandma will be like, hey, my boss is coming soon. I'm like, honey, you better just wait, okay? It's coming.
Do they bring men to the house? Like
no, but once actually my auntie tried to, set me up. She started sending me loads of Facebook profiles of these random
Facebook
profiles. She's like, oh, this one goes to my church and this one goes to my church. Come to my church. I'm like,
do you go to church?
Not her church. I go to church, of course.
Do you find that the deaconesses and the female pastors hook you up?
No, I haven't received that yet. I mean, once in a while, my pastor will be like, Drew, he's coming. I'm praying for you. Okay. So, I mean, I've got that faith and that hope that
how long has it been coming for?
He's coming. Please, coming is relative.
so no timelines?
Yeah, no timelines, but...
So the thing about relationships, is that the biggest pressure you're getting?
Before I really got into radio, it was all about what are you doing, because you're waiting
life
for it to be called, and you're like, you've completed university. I mean, can't you just go get a job just like your friends? And I'm like, Mom, I don't want to be the 9 to 5. Yeah. I'm very creative. I like doing this. Like I like
because your Instagram is so lit.
Yes.
Have you seen her Instagram?
All them
what I want to do. And she was like, okay, what you want to do? Is going to put money on the table. So, you have to. And I was good at a lot of things. I could do marketing. I could dance. I could talk. I can do a whole lot. So it was also a challenge to me. Now,
dancing.
Hey.
What do you want to do with yourself?
Yeah.
What do you want? I was like, I want to do TV. I want to do radio. Okay, right now, it's not happening. So go get a job. So I think a friend of mine called me and told me, you can speak well. Why didn't you get into marketing? I was like, marketing again. If you don't have sales, I mean, they're stressing you. Pressure. I don't want that. I was like, no, try. I mean, can build your confidence level, and you get to meet people as well. So I got into real estate, and it was good. So I was there. That was when I got a letter to come back on radio.
Oh, nice.
And now, Mama said, you are not going anywhere.
Oh, no. You are not. So do your parents still decide what you need to do?
Not really, but they feel like they have a say in what you're doing.
Because
and
you live in their house.
No, I don't live in their house.
Okay.
I moved.
You have your own place?
I moved in 2017.
That's
Look at that.
That was when I've gone and
was it hard
back.
to get out?
It was hard. It was hard. My mom there, she was like, if you're going, you're not coming back, because she was mad. My mom is very loud, and
so
she
you
was
live
really mad.
You live at your own place?
Yes. So 2017, I got a place, and my grandma was the only one that is really concerned. So can I come and see it? Can I, she just wanted to know. The first one, I was living with people, other ladies from other parts of, like maybe you're from Kumasi.
Okay.
They were also here, and one had a child. So with that one, my stepdad had to come and inspect. Oh, it was so bad, so embarrassing. He has to come and inspect the place, see the kind of people.
And you were about 24,
with. Yeah, 23, 24. Yeah,
okay.
I was doing my service, and I was doing TV alongside and everything. So it was like, okay, let me come and inspect the kind of people you're living with. So he came in and he saw that, okay, one lady was having a child. I was like, okay, at least this one is responsible.
Yeah.
So every time they'll call her and ask her, oh, is she behaving? Is she okay? But trust me, they were even better than me. They were more
and I feel
of
like
the party.
that's definitely the thing with like family, because
please.
when you're growing up, your mom is like, oh, this person is always studying, and this person, and I'm like, you actually don't even know what this person is really doing.
Do you live by yourself?
So I'm by myself as well.
Okay.
Like all my family is in London, so it's just me here. So literally right now, before when I first came, my mum would be calling every day. What are you doing? Where are you going? When are you coming back? Then she realized like it's not going to work like that.
Always answer truthfully.
No, I do. Okay, no, I don't actually. 80% of the time,
so.
80% of the time is I'm at a friend.
Okay.
What friend? A friend.
Okay, but me, I'm brutally honest with my stepdad and my family members because I feel like it saves them the time, and you don't know who is saying something when you're not around.
Yeah.
And I think that was one thing my mom used to tell me, and they used to beat me for that. It's not like we want the truth out of you, but when you tell me you are here, if we hear that something is happening to you,
that's what
we'll
my mom
run.
says all the
But
time.
if you're saying you're in Kintampo and you're saying Abelekuma and something is happening, so we are telling you that's the thing. It's not because you want to come in and see what you're doing. So one time I was my boyfriend and my stepdad called and he asked that question, "Where are you?" I said, my boyfriend said,
Huffing and puffing.
please
Go
protect
home.
yourself. And I'm like, oh, but you're not doing. Please, bye-bye. He was so angry, and he was like, later he was like, thank you for telling me the truth. So that is it. So I'm very, very honest with my family, and also they also want to know exactly where you're living, how much you're paying for rent. My auntie in US, she would tell you the truth. If what you're earning and what you're paying for rent doesn't match, somebody is sponsoring that. I want to know the person.
Who's the sponsor?
So I have friends that are living in the plush, good places, like they're paying $2,000 and everything.
Wow.
Where I am, I don't want anybody in my mattress box. So it's that tiny. So anytime I tell you, let's meet out, because when my colleague comes and says, I don't feel comfortable. It's already that's what you can afford. That's the pressure.
Live according
That's
to
what I
your
can
means.
afford. So my auntie will call me and she will ask me, so how much are you paying for this? How much do you earn? She does the calculation and she says, this
my mom
place
is a
is too
calculator
expensive.
too.
Come go and look for another place. Or if not, there's a
really
problem.
good.
There's
That's
a
really
problem.
good.
So
I remember when I left home. I left home earlier than you both. I left home when I was 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got my own place when I was 20.
Wow.
But then I had a job. I had 2 jobs, and I was still in school. So that was when I went to Charterhouse first. In fact, that's when the whole roller coaster of my life started. I started working at first at about 18 years old at the National Theatre. I was an usher. So I used to usher, and I tell you, all the people I used to usher, I used to usher pretty much for every show. I used to do like 4 shifts.
Yeah.
So I'll usher a government, some meeting in the morning. Then I'll usher some end of year, something for some companies in the afternoon. Then I'll do concert party around 4 o'clock. Then I'll do like VGMAs in the evening or this night of 1,000 last Miss Malika. I used to work with Miss Malika as an usher. So that was when I actually got to meet a lot of people in the industry. So sometimes when people like George Quay or the other Malika queens, I'm like, you don't remember me, do you? I used to show you to your seats at the National Theatre. Hello.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
Look at me now. So that's when I had to get an apartment just near Charterhouse, which is just right across the street. And I remember my parents were very supportive.
That's good.
In fact, they never had any issues. I think they just trusted me. They never had any issues. And they came to see my place. They helped me clean it up, set it up. I didn't have any furniture. I just had a mattress. It was somewhere around North Kanishi. And it was very affordable then. I was earning 300 cedis a month, and my rent was not up to 100 cedis.
Oh, then that's good.
But this is 11 years ago.
Whoa.
12 years ago.
Things have changed. Time has
It's a
changed.
long time ago.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone back home since.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've been living by myself.
You're doing well.
Wow.
Independent from the
I
jump.
never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow, you've had
Actually, I'm so proud of myself right now. Actually, I really thought about it. But yeah, my parents were always very supportive, and they just let me be. And because of the trust that they had in me, I had to make sure I was living right.
Yeah.
You know, I had to make sure, because I remember one time I went to Frankie's, and my mother called me and said, "Where are you?" Look, my hat.
Eesh.
It's like my mother asked me where, and I was just buying ice cream. I wasn't up to nothing. I was just buying ice cream. It's like my mother just asked, "Why somebody see me? Oh, my auntie has seen me. Oh, they're going to call me." So I just told Mama travel back. And when I went home, I called her and said I'm home.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember that day so vivid. Like I went home because I didn't want anybody in trouble. And I was, because if you work at Charterhouse, you know that we're always working. So I was actually always working or in school.
Yeah.
So I was really not up to anything.
So were you able to have a social life then when you were working this much?
I didn't have a social
So
life.
you didn't
All
have
of
a
my
boyfriend
friends
at that time.
So I had a boyfriend who worked at Charterhouse.
Ah, look at that. But
So
then
you know,
look at
the thing
you.
is like your
Lunch
entire
breaks
social life
revolves around work.
revolves around work. And I think you guys might find that it's true
basically
without
the
in our
same,
industry. Or in fact, any workaholic will have to find love at the place where they work.
Really?
Because where are you going
Is
to
that
find?
healthy?
You don't have time
Well,
there.
that's what I think. Where are you going to find time to meet them if you're
that
always
healthy?
working? So Here's my story at
Love our
Charterhouse.
work.
Okay.
So my boyfriend worked at multiple concepts. Like, it was another department of Charterhouse that handled
Okay.
marketing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I was at production. So we didn't work together.
At the
Okay.
same
Yeah.
company, but you're in
The same
company.
building, but then
Yeah.
production
Okay.
was always out.
Yeah.
okay.
So we're always somewhere.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he worked in the office. But I saw him
Okay.
often. And then again, we were in school together. So he was at GIJ too. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so that's how I was able to have a good relationship, because I was there, right?
Yeah.
And I was always busy, but at least I was there. But when you date someone who's out of your industry and you're a workaholic,
Yeah,
then you
they
never
really
see
get
them
it.
and you're wondering where they
Like
are.
oil and water.
Yeah.
You just
So it
can't
has
mix.
its pros and cons. Really.
Yeah,
But then again, sometimes you just get tired of seeing
Yeah.
them.
Sometimes the drama is just too much.
Unnecessary.
The drama, I don't know. Nowadays, because of social media, like people are acting kind of way. I'm trying to play prank on him. I'm trying to see if he loves me. So the
Hey.
drama, and they involve a lot of people there to, your friends at work and all that.
Yeah.
And nowadays, we can't keep things to ourselves. Everybody wants everybody to know that I'm having that life. So
Always
even
trying to
if
show
even
something.
if the
Do you feel
boss,
that pressure?
Yes, sometimes I do. Because sometimes they wonder. So how do you get some? I was like, how do I get? How do you
How do you
some?
get
How'd
some?
you get some?
How do you get some? But when you start saying, they'll be like, oh, you were a bad child. I was like, why are you
Hey.
asking me then? It's hard. It's so hard. And sometimes they were like, okay, moving from one person to the other and everything makes you a bad girl. You get a bad name and all that. And sometimes it's not your fault. The person coming in is lying to you. How do you know that? You tell me you're serious with me. I wouldn't come and put a cell light on you to see what you're doing. So later on, I find out you're cheating or you're doing something else and I leave you. So meaning that I shouldn't date again. I think that's how come I'm not really going in for anything, because I also don't want another situation where it will end badly and then there's a problem with you.
So
What
now-
if I am not the problem?
Does that mean you have trust issues then?
No, so if the guy is abusing you verbally, he's not even touching you, but it's wrong. It is wrong.
Yeah.
Every form of abuse is
It is wrong.
Even emotional abuse, where they just
so
talk
it's
the
wrong.
silent
Yes.
treatment.
Because I
All of that
remember
is bad.
one time my best friend was like, okay, so you're lucky he's just abusing you verbally, he's not cheating.
What do you mean
on
you're lucky?
You're like, yes! Sometimes the mindset is somewhere.
Hey,
and
your
I'm like,
circle, girl,
I
you gotta
should-
check that
Why
circle.
do I need to take that, like, for it to be normal? Do I have to,
No.
Then I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be alone.
No.
You're watching We Got This Africa, a conversation on adulting in 2020 continues right after this.
Got this.
Choosing the right oil makes all the difference. That is why I always choose Frytol. At Wilma, where Frytol is made, each and every worker wakes up with you in mind.
Really?
And for the millions of other homes too. There, the experts ensure every bottle of Frytol is rich with great taste that creates memories to last their lifetime. Frytol is a cholesterol-free oil fortified with vitamin A.
Now I know why you cook with Frytol.
Yes, Dad.
Enjoy great tasting meals with Frytol. Frytol. Love your food, love your life. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Got this.
If you just joined us, you're watching We Got This Africa, and today my 20-something-year-olds got this.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yes.
So I remember in my 20s, I used to worry about money and the future and whether I'll be a rich old woman, because I saw a video about I think one of our very celebrated actors who was sick and old and was struggling, and I thought, oh my God, this is the path I have chosen. Would I be poor and struggling when I'm old? So I remember at that time I started thinking about money and how I can save. So at the time I was earning 300 cedis. I wanted to buy a car, I wanted some nice clothes, and I also wanted to save. So I think 2 years on after I started work at TV Africa, when I went to Charterhouse, I met this fashion designer, Pistis.
Oh, wow.
The one who makes my clothes,
Yes.
right? So when I met her in 2009, and I thought her clothes were so nice, but I couldn't afford to just be buying them at the time. So I remember I used to buy one dress from her every 4 months. So I used to save up so that every 4 months I could buy one Pistis dress, because I thought that I needed nice clothes that way, you know. At that time, I was like 22. So I was like, this was what I used to use my money for. When I earned my money, I would pay my tithe.
Yeah.
And then I'll save money for my car. And then I'll buy a dress. And then the rest of it we blow it.
Yes, literally.
So I remember, like, as I advanced, like when I started earning 1,000 cedis, now I started doing 10% tithe, 20% savings, and then I buy something nice for myself, save for my car, and so on. So I bought my car 4 years on. I bought a Toyota Corolla. It was a very old Toyota Corolla. The registration was like B or C or something.
Wow.
It was a good car. It was
Yeah,
good
it
for
was a
me.
good car,
So I remember thinking about money a lot at that age. And now when I think about it, I think I was really young. But is it something that's like heavy on your minds? Like, where am I going? My future? Like in the next 10 years, how much will I have? Can I afford this?
Definitely.
Pensions and stuff like that. Do you think about it?
Definitely for me, like at the beginning, like you said, it was, you know, you have your job, and that's why I had to get another job at the same time, so I could, at least with this paycheck, I know that I'm saving it completely, and then this paycheck, I'm, you know, using this amount for here, dividing it slowly and giving it to its different places. I didn't even acknowledge, you know, pension. I was just thinking about the nice things that I want, and in the future, you know, I don't want my husband to come and find me and I've got nothing. I want to be able to bring something to the table.
You think that?
Yeah, from young it was, I need to have something to the table. The worst thing I would want is, you know, he buys me all these things and then God forbid one day he's like, bring it all back, and then what will I do? So it was always, okay, I need to have something that is mine. I call it my get vex money.
Okay.
Give what?
Get vex. So
Get vex.
Yeah. So in case there's an emergency or like something has happened, I'm not stranded because I could just dip into that vex money and I can spend it.
Vex money. But do you have money? Like, do you find that you have money? I have money. I'm cool.
It's literally like I was struggling to survive. After I finished, you know, paying for this, like in London, it's so hard. After you pay for your bills, you pay your tithes, you put your money into, you just have this amount, and it's either you buy the dress, you buy that nice meal, or you save it for the holiday. Is either one of those three. And because you're young, it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? So I'm the type of person I can save hard, but then when I decide I'm going on a shopping spree, there's only
Suddenly,
like
you
change
hear that
left.
Your great grandmother has swallowed a blade.
For me, I had to save, because literally living on my own in Accra here, I'm that kind of person. I don't like they tell me I'm very independent. I don't like asking for money, because if you don't give it to me, it's bloody. Why? It's either I become a little bit rude as to, I mean, I'm my mother. If you can't give me, who should give me? That kind of thing. So I wouldn't even come and ask, because I know the answer. I said I want to ask for 200. You give me 50. I'm not using 54. And like, they give me back my money. So I told myself, you know what? It's better I save. And apart from that, I'm a firstborn as well. My mom. So I wouldn't want my junior brothers and a sister coming to me that they need something and I can't afford it. My grandmother is always telling me that you are the first child. Everybody's looking at whether you like it or not. So imagine that after 20 years, 50 years, you are still living in your mother's house and your little brothers are, you know, making it in life.
These
so
times
you
I'm like,
need
did I
to
ask to be
really
first?
but you need to.
First. We've got firstborn responsibilities.
Trust me, even in the Bible, Charlie, we carry some
But
weight.
is it even possible to be able to really save?
Yes, it is possible.
Okay.
It is possible. When my job like this, when I started, I already have my insurance. I have 3 I'm doing with Enterprise for my mother, for my lifetime, and for education, because I plan on going back to school to do my master's.
But
but
did
now
you
I can't
have someone
afford
to
it.
teach you all of those things?
Yeah, I
though?
started. No, funny enough, while I was doing my internship back in uni, you had people coming in. Those people in Enterprise Insurance, they'll come in, they would sit you down and they tell you about it. You need it. But after that time, I wasn't getting like regular pay, so I did, and I stopped. So when I started real estate, I told myself that no, what I'm doing, no matter what, I need to put money aside to in case something should happen to my mother. I'm a traditional person in a way. You'll be called on as a first child, and you're old enough. They should ask you, if they ask you for something, you need to provide. So you know what, I need to ensure myself, my mom, and my education, because I really want to go back to school. That was aside. Then apart from that, I had a friend also that telling me that, you know, saving dollars. I didn't understand that. So when I get money, I change it in dollars and I put it at the bank.
That's a good
like
tip.
that. So with time, right now I have close to 2,000.
Well,
I have close to, like, I don't touch it. I don't touch it at all. Then I realized that if the money is there and you're not using it for anything, it's just there. You're not getting more. You're not getting less. So you need to do more. So I was having a small car, Kia Morning. It was 2017. I bought it when I was doing my service, because where I was working was really good. I needed a car. So when I bought it and I started working, I didn't want to do corporate as at that time. So I turned into a taxi.
Oh, and so you used it for like Uber?
Yeah, for taxi, like
Oh,
commercial
okay.
taxi.
Nice.
So I had the driver come in and he was giving me 400 cedis every
Entrepreneur of the year.
Yeah.
Every
Okay,
week.
girl.
How old were you?
I was just, that was 2 years ago, so I was like 24.
Nice.
Yes, I had to. Because
Wow.
you have some cousins even calling me up since they see you on TV, they need money. Dorothy, can you lend me? I can't give you the money, but instead of 500, I can give you 100 I will not take back. What
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
Because if I give the money and you're not paying me, I keep calling.
You should never lend money to family or friends that you
You
can't
know.
let go.
Yeah, so
You have to
I want to tell you,
let it go.
yes, I want to tell you
The
that,
hard
okay,
way.
I'm always making deals. I can give you 500, but I give you 150, I won't take it back. What about that? Oh, okay, sounds good. And I'll send it to you. That is what I was.
Yeah.
So with saving, it's a big deal. So now, 2020, I was talking to my friends and I was like, we can't be working for people forever.
No.
Because I'm here bringing in $20,000, $50,000. I sell houses and I can make that for somebody. What am I doing for myself? How am I saving? How am I even going to spend my commission? Because your commission comes and you're thinking of hair, makeup, and everything. So I have a small book. I write what I need to do with my commission.
organized.
Right now, I don't really have a car because I've sold it. People keep calling me Uber man. Are you going
I
for
get
Uber?
called
and
Madam
everything?
Uber.
Yes, and it's like the Uber thing, and I use for a taxi, so it's kind of weak. Always giving me problems and everything because the guy was using it 24/7 back to back.
To the other
yes,
areas with bad roads.
Yes, it was
Now,
giving me problems.
I wanted to ask you, when you were growing up, did you have someone teaching you how to save, teaching you that you need to save, you need to put this amount?
So I learned these things from all of those seminars I was ushering for. So I used to usher for these seminars at the National Theatre where they talk. So people pay to come for all of these events like Springboard. Was it Springboard? I'm not sure. But these events that teach you about life. Right?
Yeah.
The importance of saving and investment, the importance of having a life plan, the importance of even knowing your self-worth and all of those things. So as an usher, I would stand at the doors and I'd listen. I'd really listen. And that's where I learned a lot of things. That's why I even learned that you need to be able to write these things down.
Yeah.
Even things like self-affirmations, like things you even want from God.
Yeah.
So like at the beginning of the year, I'll tell God, this year, I want to be able to host 10 events.
Nice.
I want each event to pay me at least 5,000 cedis so that I can have this amount of money by the end of the year. Like those days, those are the kind of prayers I prayed.
Good.
And I learned all of these things from these events. Nobody really taught me. And one of the things I really wish I had taken seriously was mentorship. Having someone to hold your hand and teach you about life.
100%.
Because figuring it out by yourself is not fun.
Just
It's
makes
not
it
fun.
longer as
makes it
well.
longer.
Because every step is deadly.
It makes it longer.
Very
So-
crucial.
It's hard. So I remember when I decided to go to law school, I had money to pay my school fees. Like just pay school fees, pay hostel, continue to pay for my car, my life, everything. And I was about 24 or so. So I realized how great it was for me to be exposed to all of these things. But I was lucky. I don't think
There's so
all
many
20-year-olds
people. Exactly.
I exposed such information. So if I could advise you guys, I'd tell you, listen. Like, take advice from people who have gone
Been
ahead
there.
of you. And don't be asking like the big questions, like the little ones.
Yeah.
Like the little questions. Like, so when I have a spreadsheet on my laptop which is always open and it's money. Like it's money. So I know that for influencing for this brand, they'll pay me 1,000 cedis. For this 1,000 cedis, 10% is going to my tithe. I still do 10% tithe,
Good.
20% savings, 20% investment. So that's 50%. So the remaining 50% is, so I actually have a calculator by it. 10% of this amount is this, 10%, 20% of this. And so you should see my phone, my notepad, like it's always full of
Numbers.
like money
Yeah.
breakdowns.
Yeah.
This is how we do it.
Yeah.
And so when something hits you, at least you can find some money
Yeah.
to go and
Ease
pay
it.
for it and then ease it. So as for money, is very important. Even when you're choosing a partner,
Yeah.
of all the things that you think about, you should think about the money, and you should have the money conversation. Have the money conversation.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
So when you get money, how are you doing it? This percent is going here. This percent. And sometimes people feel like, oh, when I earn so much, but when you earn 100 Ghana cedis, you have to pay your it depends on your faith. But for me,
Definitely.
you have to pay 10 Ghana
It's
cedis
important.
tight.
Yeah.
And at least save 10 Ghana cedis
Yeah.
and invest another 10 Ghana cedis. You don't say 100 cedis is too small. Look, sometimes at this point in my life, I do some things that pay me not so much, like less than 1,000 Ghana cedis, like very small money, like some little things here and there. I still apply the same rule. And thank God my church accepts mobile money tithes now.
Yeah.
So I just mobile my tithes,
Yeah.
Then I use ExpressPay to move this up. So I have various accounts for various things.
Good.
I have an account for my savings, and I have an account for my investments, and then I have the money that we spend.
Spend.
So I'm on an ExpressPay. I move this year, move this year, move this year.
Yeah.
So I never have cash because I'm always because the
Yeah.
cash you spend it.
You spend
Quickly.
it. Yeah.
Quickly
So,
as well.
so it can be hard, but you guys
Okay.
you have to be very intentional about it. Like I must
Wow.
do this.
I think I
that
think I
way
need
you
help.
can.
I need help with that tithes. I need help because I'm a Presbyterian by birth, and I went to a Catholic school.
Wait, can I tell you something about tithes?
Yeah.
When you pay your tithes.
Serious.
You know the scripture says actually, like he will open the floodgates of heaven and he will bless you.
Double.
It's true.
I
It's a real thing.
It's
I
so
don't have a
true.
church I go to actually.
You know what?
I
People
don't
have
know.
various beliefs about tithes. You
Yeah.
know that it's supposed to help the work of God. So sometimes
Yeah.
when you even help somebody
Yeah.
with the money,
Yeah.
it's not the work of God. That's what people believe. But I believe I should pay to the church, so the church uses
But
it.
you have a church you go to, right?
Yeah.
This particular church.
Yes,
You
I
are with.
haven't been to church in so long.
Wow.
I haven't been to church in so long because the children are still allowed to come to
Yeah.
church now. But I know that I pay my tithe to this church.
Yes.
And I will pay it. And when I pay it, I call the pastor to pray with me. Because I also believe in that. But that's my belief, right? And every time I don't pay my tithe, I struggle.
Trust me.
Like I have this deal
it's
coming,
serious.
and then I don't pay my tithe for this deal, I lose it.
Wow.
It happened to me too many times for me not to know.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So as for my tithes, I'll
Don't
pay.
just
Sometimes, you know, like because of the kind of work we do, sometimes you realize you're running into debt because
Yeah.
you paid for so many
many
things and you
things.
don't have money.
Yeah.
And you get new money and you want to go and pay your debts. But I will pay my
the
tithes
tithe
first and
first.
so owe human beings. But that's all human beings until, oh God,
God,
you can't cheat God.
Listen.
But Charlie, you know, sometimes I feel like when you're in your 20s, you need hand holding,
Yeah.
like someone to just guide you.
1,000%. Like
Yeah.
you said earlier, I wish I had like a mentor or a big sister because I'm the firstborn. So I'm literally finding my feet, and then they're looking. My little sisters and brothers are looking at the mistakes I made, so they're dodging them. But you're leaving
about
me
you?
to jump into the
Yeah,
pools and then
yes,
you
yeah.
know come out of them.
Yeah.
Even like coming to Ghana. I didn't know that I needed to save as much. I thought, oh, okay, this amount will be cool,
Homeland,
and I'll be fine. You know, it's a bit cheaper living here. Oh, was I wrong? And so certain mistakes that now I have made, we're still, as we're growing growing older, I'm still, you know, having to like reap those. I wouldn't say benefits. I'm reaping the mistakes that I've gone through. That has now, but I'm guessing the mistakes have helped guide me to where I am now. So I know that, okay, you know, this has happened before, so let's do it this way. But seriously, I wish I had a mentor that, or there was some sort of school, or that there was something. And I'm thinking, if it's just me going through this, imagine all the other young people that, you know, they didn't have the opportunity to be standing at a seminar because they were working to get this talk. And these things are probably available, but then sometimes you have to pay. You have to pay.
Or it doesn't even occur to you.
Yeah, you're
If
just
they don't
like,
teach you during youth service, then you don't know.
No. Okay, me personally, it wouldn't be money issue. It would be more, I should have, you know, be less, I wouldn't say independent, like I'm too strong. Sometimes I come out too strong. So I feel like for me, if I knew, I would have spent more time with family, like my parents, I'll be more of a family person because they know Dorothy is good by herself. Like everybody knows that about me, that when I'm suffering,
There's
nobody
nobody
knows.
there.
It's like she'll figure it out on her own. But I could have actually maybe had it easy by asking somebody to help me or making somebody see my weakness and how vulnerable I am, especially with relationship part. Because it's like I'm perfect with other things, but when it comes to relationship, like you should see that this person is wrong for you. Why are you still? You know, I feel like if I was a little bit closer to family growing up and all that, maybe, you know, they would have guided me or shielded me through some things. And also, I get through a lot of things just because, you know, you don't have your family around you. But I feel like, yeah, in Ghana here, sometimes you're like, oh, nobody will come and beat me up when I mess it up because practically she's alone. But if I was closer to family, closer to my big uncles, you know that, oh, wait, if I do this, her uncle, her grandman will come for me. So I should be very, very, So I think for me, I'll in my 20s, what I really wish I had time to do was to let people know that I also get hurt.
Yeah.
And that if I have broken heart, doesn't mean that I'm not a human being. I also feel the hurt. And it makes sometimes people see me and they be like, you have so much anger in you. And I was like, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. And I feel, even though it has a good side to it, I push it through what I want to do. It took me a whole year to make a sale, and I went hard. I pressed and I pressed and I pressed, and I made 3 sales, sold 3 houses within a month. And my boss even asked me, how did you do it? I said determination, because I will actually strip naked and pray to God on my knees that I'm not giving up without a fight. But it has its bad side. Sometimes you're misunderstood, like, why are you coming to beat me? Like, I'm always, I don't relax. Yeah, because I'm always on my defenses. I'll knock you off. Like, I had to learn to protect myself. No, not like that. But I'm just saying, like, I'm on you. Don't mess with me. Don't mess
Yeah.
with me because I know I don't have anybody around me to shield me.
protect you.
But if I was closer to my parents or my uncles, and maybe I don't know, I don't think it would have been a harder thing. Just going home when you can, spending time with them, letting them in your problem. It's not always the bad thing, right?
Sometimes I really just feel like we are in the 20s and we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we actually have to just go with the motion. Like there is sometimes beauty in these mistakes, and it's beauty in learning. And when you get there, you're just like, do you know what? If you laugh back at it and you're like, oh, I remember when.
Yeah, no, as you said, because you're a first child, it has pressure on you. So it's like if you need to be the one with the
Who has to
for
have
your
it all together.
exactly, because you have your cousins and everything looking up to you, and they think.
But you girls, I should say, you've done so well for yourselves.
Trying.
You have done so well for yourselves. You're more than the average 20-something-year-old.
Wow.
Thank you.
So you guys have done so well for yourselves, and just keep pushing. But Charlie, in the midst of working so hard and trying to be on top and all of that, you need to make time for yourself to just let your hair down and chill.
It's important.
If you have to schedule it, schedule it.
Yeah, I put it in my diary, literally.
Yeah, schedule
Every
it
this
and
day
treat
is
yourself
Drew
sometime.
time. So we just don't do
I think
anything.
I should let my guards down and allow
Sometimes
people.
relax.
That's one thing that I always think of, like, Charlie, when I was younger with no children and no responsibilities, why didn't I go to all the tourist sites in Ghana?
Yeah, that's
Even
what I'm
just
doing
like
now.
I haven't been to Cape Coast Castle.
Sis!
You know, exactly. So now it's now that I'm trying to do those things. Because I feel like if I don't do them now and I'm 40, I'm going to be like, oh, I was 30 and young. So you are as young as you can be right now. This is it.
Yeah.
So this is the time for keeping fit, keeping your body tight, and keeping like your skin and saving your money and spending it too.
Yes!
Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thank you.
I had such a great time.
Honestly, can't wait for next time.
And you notice my accent is kind of cool now. I've been hanging out with Miss Drew and Dorothy today on We Got This Africa. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're adulting, God be with you.
We got it, don't worry.
God be with you.
Got it.
Although it's far, make it no give up. It only makes us stronger. Whatever you do, do them well. Make it no worry. We go stay okay, we go be alright. No, Inyami, go chichino. Inyami, ban your face. Inyami, walk on jam. Kenya fe, oh ban your face. Inyami, go chichino. Inyami, ban your face. Inyami, walk on jam. Kenya fe, oh ban your face. 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 We got this. Kenya fe, oh ban your face.
We Got This Africa, proudly brought to you by Frytol. Frytol, you deserve to be well.